Hey, what's up everyone? Thanks for checking out the video. I'm Southside Braves, and today for you I got the Week 2 preview for the Rocket Draft League. This one will have a lot more content than the first one did because we've actually played some matches now. So, yeah, let's just dive on into it. First off, we're going to look at the results of some of these games. As you can see, I'll use this one as an example. These are the formats, going to stay the same form. Top left, you're going to see what I thought what the play of the game was. If the game was recorded, not all of them were. But if it's recorded, I'm going to have what I thought the play of the game was. Some of the stats of the game on the right, and then on the bottom, a little quick summary of what I thought turned the match. So first off, we have the play of the game right here. I thought the Ninetales living this recreate with the Focus Sash, and then surprising his opponent with the Dark Pulse to kill Victini, who was in position to really turn that game for him. He was kind of Victini was kind of who he was relying on to sweep from there. That Focus Sash Dark Pulse, and I don't think the crit mattered there, but the Focus Sash Dark Pulse on Ninetales really won that game. I thought that was the play of the match right there. So the Pidgeys pick up the 4-0 win following that play. Some of the mons for the Pidgeys, they are 1-0 now. Poltergeist picked up 2 kills. Ninetales picked up 1, and Scizor picked up 1. All of them survived the match. For the Honchkrows, they're Glastrier. I don't actually know how to say the Ice Horse's name yet, but picked up 2 kills. He went 2-1. Victini and Zapdos unfortunately did not pick up a kill. They both went 0-1. Again, I mentioned that Dark Pulse. Another big play of this game was Rocks really hurt the Honchkrows here. Never really got rid of them, and it just really chipped away at his team. So a combination of that Dark Pulse and the Rocks really is what set up this win for the Pidgeys. So Pidgeys are at 1-0. Moving on to our second match. We had a 6-6 match. So I don't know how much I'm going to say about this one because there wasn't much to it. No kills were had. But I did think a good smart read here was he went for the Scald on the Milotic, expecting the Nidoqueen to come in. He got good damage here. And he does, the Volcaronas do win this game by damage numbers, health. So getting this damage off right here was actually really big in this game. So this Lantern play I thought was the play of the game. Not much to say over in the stats category. There weren't any kills, so a bunch of 0 and 0s. But like I said, Volcaronas did pick up the win. They really had momentum the whole time. The Arcanines, again, I don't know. I know that's not the correct way to say their name. I don't know what it is yet, so I'm going to keep calling them Arcanines. Sorry about that. They were on the defensive the whole game. The Volcaronas really kept the pressure on. So both teams did a bunch of switching. That's what led to the 6-6. But I mean, the Arcanines had to. The Volcaronas kept the pressure on, forced these switches. So as impressive as a 6-6 win can be, I guess. Like I said, good job on the Volcaronas' part, keeping the pressure on. But yeah, no kills in the match, but Volcaronas sit at 1-0. Moving on to our third match. Unfortunately, it's one of them that I don't believe there's a video out. If there was, please send it to me. I'd love to see it. But so I'm not going to spend as much time talking about these ones because I don't actually know how the game went. I'm just looking at stats. But Ghost Horse Spectrier picked up 2 kills for the more Picos, went 2-1. Arcanine and Grimmsnarl both went 1-1. For the winning Rampardos, who won 1-0 in this match, Regieleki went 2-0. Zygarde 10 went 2-1. And Sigilyph went 1-1. So moving on. Our fourth match is another one that wasn't recorded. The Litwix pick up a 5-0 win over the Miltanks. For the Litwix, their Tapu Koko went 3-0. Their Mandibuzz went 1-0. And Mew went 2-1. For the Miltanks, their Jellicent picked up their 1 lone kill. And then no one else did. I threw Entei and Kartana on there, but both went 0-1. Moving on. Another match that we did get recorded here. Scizors versus the Vikavolts. I believe this was actually power rankings-wise the biggest upset of the week, and it was pretty dominant from the Vikavolts. They won 5-0. Play of the game right here. It's kind of a weak play of the game, but his Gardevoir getting Calm Mind up really put all the pressure on and picked up 3 kills and really dominated the match. So, I mean, putting play of the game as a Calm Mind seems weird, but it's what the Calm Mind led to. So, you can watch it kill a Corviknight here on these next 2 turns. But that was really a play of the game, setting up the Gardevoir to really put in a lot of work. For the Scizors, their Volcarona picked up their 1 kill. On the Vikavolt side, like I said, that Gardevoir picked up 3 kills, did unfortunately die in the match. That was the 1 death. Skarmory was really good for him as well here. He went 2-0, and then Dragapult picked up that 1 last kill for him. Like I said, Vikavolts won 5-0. Like I said, this was one of the more dominant matches of the week. Vikavolts were in control the entire way. That Calm Mind Gardevoir just was too much for his opponent to deal with. So, yeah, congrats to the Vikavolts. They sit at 1-0. Moving on to the next match here. I'm going to watch this Gardevoir kill the Corviknight. Yeah, and now we're going to move on. 6-1 was the Moltres versus the Shock. Again, not really a single play of the game, but the Moltres here. Sorry, not Moltres, Zapdos at the end for the Shock. Pretty much sweeps at the end with 4 kills to really sweep up the match with that Choice Scarf Brave Bird. So another pretty dominant match here for the Shock, winning 4-0. For the Moltres, Escavalier and Darmanitan both picked up 1 kill apiece. For the Shock, like I said, Zapdos picks up 4 with these Brave Birds. I just left a few of them in here for the clip, watching Brave Bird some opponents. Credilli had a cool little set with Meteor Beam. That led to a kill, I believe, on the Carkle, if I remember correctly. So those are 5 of his kills right there. I believe the other kill was something killed itself with Life Orb, I believe. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure. But again, Zapdos was the player of the game here with that Scarf. Yeah, Shock pick up a 4-0 win. They are 1-0. Moving on to our 7th match, and that is my own. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about my own. But play of the game was really... I only had one answer to Quagsire at this point. I already blew my Solar Beam on Charizard with my Power Herb. So I only had one answer left. That was Grass Knot on Tapu Fini. So I had to get this Quagsire out of the way. Sen kind of overthought it a little bit because we had kind of rotated through this once. He switched last time into Tangrowth. He thought I would predict that again, which I was close to doing. But I had to take the chance to kill Quagsire while I could. So this Grass Knot to kill a Quagsire was really the play of the game. That led to a 4-2 win for me. Tapu Fini went 3-0. Melmetal picked up one other kill. Went 1-1. I put Charizard on there because if you don't know why I threw Charizard on there, please go watch the match. You'll understand why I was frustrated with him, but I threw him on the board because of it. For my opponent, for Sen, Heat Train went 1-0. Quagsire picked up his other kill, went 1-1. And Tangrowth lived towards the end, so he went 0-0. Like I said, Tapu Fini's coverage really led to this victory for me, I think. Being able to deal with everything on his team, outside of Heat Train, actually, because I didn't have a water move on it, was big for my team. And, I did put it on here, so you don't have to go watch it. I'll spoil it. Charizard went 1-for-7 on Focus Blast at the end. So, yeah, those are kind of the highlights of the game there. Moving on to our final match, again, one that wasn't recorded, between the Hydreigons and the Electric. 5-5 match here that went in the Electric's favor. Thundurus T picked up the 1 kill for the Hydreigons, and Munchlax picked up the 1 kill for the Electric. And that's really all I got to say about it. I didn't get to see the match. So, yeah. Next up, we're going to move to the power rankings. First week of the power rankings, I went off the video that somebody else had done. They tiered everybody. Week 2, now that I've seen everyone play one game, I know it's not a lot to go off of, but I've seen everyone play one game or seen stats from a game. I've pretty much revamped the whole thing to what I think everyone should be at right now. So you're going to see a ton of movement in these rankings. All right, excuse me. So, starting at the bottom here, we have the Honchkrows who fell 2 spots. And again, I'm not going to talk about every single team and why they fell. I kind of talked about their matches during the last section. So, Honchkrows fall 2. More Picos are at 15. They fall 5. Blazikens move 6 spots down, and the Miltanks move 8. So again, this is probably the most movement you're ever going to see in one of these. Once I kind of get a feel for people, they're going to start settling into spots with slight movement up and down. This is going to be the most dramatic week of movement. So these are bottom 4 in my opinion after 1 week. Moving on to the next section, Scizors fall 9 spots to 12th. Rampardos climb 5 spots to number 11. Arcanines move down 1 spot to number 10. Moltres move down 3 spots to 9. And the Hydreigons fall 4 spots to number 8. So yeah, Rampardos is the only team in this group that picked up a win. So they are unfortunately my lowest ranked 1-0 team. It was a very close win. But yeah, they still do climb 5 spots. So moving on to the next grouping of teams. We have myself at number 7. I climbed 5 spots. Volcaronas was tough. I moved them down 5 spots. They were number 1. They actually won. So, I mean, it was hard to do that, but it was such a kind of irrelevant game. I thought more teams deserved to move in front of them, not because of their performance, but because of the other team's impressive performances. So that's a little harsh on my part to the Volcaronos. I apologize to them, but yeah, kind of just rearranging it to my liking this week. Number 5, we have the Litwix moving up 10 spots, the biggest climb of anyone. So congrats to the Litwix. I was very impressed with their match. Vikavolts move up 9, right behind them in amount of climb. Very, very impressive match from the Vikavolts. Pidgeys move up 8 spots to number 3. The Electric move up 5 spots to number 2. And the Shock only go up 1 spot to number 1. So these are my top 3 teams in mind. Pidgeys, Electric, Shock, I thought 3 of the more impressive teams of week 1. So, yeah, again, if you disagree with my power rankings, I'd love to hear what you think. So, yeah, hope everyone enjoys where they were placed there. Or if not, prove me wrong. Moving on next to the standings. See where everyone stands after 1 week. Looking at all 4 divisions here. Sword Division, Pidgey sit on top. Yeah, kind of the only team in there that got a dominant victory. Volcaronos were the other win and a tie. So Pidgeys have a nice little lead going into week 2. For the Shield Division, kind of the same story. Litwix have a nice little lead in differential. The only one was a dominant win. The Rampardos got that 1-0 win. So Litwix, much like the Pidgeys, have a nice little lead in that one. Shadow Division, not quite as similar. 2 teams kind of out in front here with their more impressive victories. Vikavolts got that 5-0, and Shock got a 4-0. So both of them kind of co-front runners here right now. And again, we're 1 week in, so these are going to change a ton as games get played. And lastly, the Ice Division, I do sit on top with a 2-0. That is the closest of the 4 divisions right now. We had a 5-5 tie and a 4-2 game. So 1 week in, Ice Division is the closest. Yeah, everyone can see where they stand. Next up, we are going to look at Players of the Week. I decided instead of doing one Mon as like MVP of the week, I decided to split into divisions. So each division had a Player of the Week. For the Sword Division, I thought that Ninetales, I think it only got 1 kill, but that Dark Pulse Focus Sash kill was huge and pretty much won that game for that team. So I gave Alolan Ninetales the Player of the Week for the Sword Division. For the Shield, I gave it to Tapu Koko. Picking up 3 kills against the Miltanks was big. Helped lead to a 5-0 victory there. For the Shadow Division, I believe our kill leader after 1 week is Zapdos. So I gave Zapdos that Player of the Week. Picked up 4 kills. That Brave Bird Choice Scarf just went in. So couldn't give it to anyone else other than Zapdos there. And for the Ice Division, I did give it to my own Tapu Fini. Picked up 3 kills in my win. Went 3-0. Was a big reason I was able to get a week 1 victory. So those are your 4 Players of the Week for each of the divisions. Moving on to trades that were made this week. We technically had 2 trades, but they were between the same 2 teams, so I kind of combined it into one here. Basically, Latias and Munchlax got sent from the Electric to the Honchkrows in exchange for Glastrier and Riolu. Again, if I'm saying the Ice Horse's name wrong, I don't actually know the correct way to pronounce it, so sorry. But Ice Horse and Riolu go from the Honchkrows to the Electric. That was kind of our one trade for the week. Moving on, we're going to take a look at upcoming week's games. So first match of the week, we got the Honchkrows versus Arcanines. Again, same thing. I kind of put 3 Mons I think are going to either have a good matchup or just strong Mons here. And break down a little bit of the matchup and who I think is going to win here. So based on week 1, the Honchkrows unfortunately lost pretty heavy in a 4-0. And the Arcanines were in that 6-6 stalemate. So this one's kind of tough. Don't know who to go with here a ton. Again, the Arcanines, I don't know. I didn't get to see much. Lots of switching, lots of bulky Mons. I mean, made good switches for the most part to keep that game close. Honchkrows kind of got beat by a move they didn't see coming. So, but just based on this, I actually think a big Mon in this matchup is going to be the Zapdos. I think Zapdos has a really good matchup here. And so because of that, I'm going to pick the Honchkrows to win this. And again, please get involved in this if you want to. I'd love to see everyone else's picks. Send them to me through Discord. Put them in the comments. I'll keep track of them throughout the season. Speaking of that, week 1 of the season, unfortunately, picks did not go well, as I was the leader, I believe, of the ones I was sent with. I just want to check something real quick. Sorry. No one got over half of them right. Of the people that sent me them, Yeah, I had the most right at 4. Yeah, because I had 4, I believe. And that was the most of anyone that sent them to me. Sorry, I'm just counting it in my head, just make sure. 2, 3, and yeah, I had 4. I got 4, and that was the most of anyone. So I'd love to see everyone else's picks. Like I said, I'll keep it as a win percentage to see who's doing the best instead of like overall, like not just pure number of wins, but percentage wise. So if you didn't get involved in week 1, you can hop in and still take over the lead. So right now, 50% is leading it, so you don't even have to do that well to take over. So thank you for the people that did send me picks. And again, I'll say who's leading it each week. Yeah, moving on to matchup number 2. We have the Pidgeys versus the Volcaronas. 2 teams that picked up a win in week 1. So this should be a good game here. What do I think here? Volcaronas, I think, have the stronger just overall team power. I don't necessarily know if they have the better matchup. I think Bolton could be really nice here for the Pidgeys. I really think Bolton's an underrated mon in general. I love Bolton. I think he can be very powerful. But I foresee the Volcaronas bringing the combo of Torkoal and Shiftry, and that really causing some havoc here. So because of that, I am going to go with the Volcaronas to win this one. So moving on to matchup number 3. We have the Picos versus the Litwix. Another tough one here. This one kind of the opposite of what I just said, I think. I actually think I like Picos' overall team power a little bit more here. This one's much closer in my opinion. But I like their overall mons a little bit better. But I think Litwix match up pretty well. I think if they can deal with the Swampert, Tapu Koko can do a ton of damage in this match. I think Flygon's really nice as well once that Swampert's out of the way. So for the Picos, I think Swampert's huge. I think he has to bring Swampert. If he doesn't, I think he's in trouble. But again, if the Litwix can deal with Swampert early, I think he can really have a nice win here. And that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the Litwix dealing with the Swampert and picking up a W here. Moving on to match number 4. We have the Rampardos versus the Miltanks. And again, Miltanks, if you have an actual logo, feel free to let me know or send it to me, and I'll stop using just a shiny Miltank. Till then, I'm going to keep using the shiny Miltank. So, Rampardos picked up a close win week 1. Miltanks lost pretty heavily. Jellicent was their player of the week for the Miltanks team specifically. I think that team's got to bring it again. Yeah, I think Claydol has a really good matchup here, actually. I think Claydol could be the secret weapon the Miltanks need to win this. But just based on what I saw week 1 of the play, I'm going to go with the Rampardos to win this. But I think if the Miltanks can use Claydol well and properly, I think they have a good shot here. So I think it's really going to come down to the play of Claydol. But I am going to go with the Rampardos to win it. Moving on to the 5th match, and this is my game of the week. So again, if you only watch one game in this league that comes out, watch mine. But if you watch 2 of them, this should be your second choice. This, I think, can be a very, very good game here. The Shock were very dominant in the first one. That Zapdos put in a ton of work. Vikavolts were just as equally dominant with that Gardevoir putting a ton of work with that Calm Mind. So this one's going to be fun. Extremely close to pick here. But I'm going to trust my power rankings, and I'm going to go with the team I have at number 1 in the power rankings, and I'm going to go with the Shock. But again, I'm very excited to see this one. This one's going to be fun. Moving on to the 6th match. We have the Moltres versus the Scizors. Moltres, I was both these teams, honestly, I thought were going to perform much better week 1 than they did. So both of them kind of looking for bounce back games here. Which one do I think is going to achieve the bounce back game? I still like the Terrain and Hawlucha combo more than what the Scizors have going on. Like I said, I still think both these teams are going to be good. Like I said, week 1 was surprising to me that neither of these teams won or even really kept it all that close. Right? I'm trying to remember what the Scizor score was. Yeah, they lost pretty rough to the Vikavolts. So yeah, one of these teams is going to have a bounce back game. I'm going to say it's going to be the Moltres, but it could be either one. Another game I'd like to see. Because, again, yeah, I think both these teams are going to be good. I think they'll both turn it around. But unfortunately, one of them is going to have to start 0-2. And moving on to the last match. Because, again, I forgot to hide who I picked. I'm going to skip my own. So, again, I'm always going to pick myself. So, Nidoking's in there. Last match of the week, though, we got the Blazikens versus the Electric. I thought Blazikens played fairly well against me last week. The one misplay with the Quagsire really hurt him, and an unfortunate crit on his Mimikyu. So outside of that, I really think he had a good chance to win. The Electric, again, I didn't actually get to see that match. They had that 5-5 win over the Hydreigons. So this one's going to be tough. Again, I think Quagsire can be huge yet again. I think Quagsire is always a problem for teams, unless you have a great answer for it. And I don't know if the Electric have that. So pretty much based on the strength of that Quagsire and how Sen uses it, I am going to pick the Blazikens to win this match. So, yeah. Good luck to all the coaches in week 2. That's the end of my video. I think I've gone through everything I wanted to. If you want to see me add anything, like I think next week I'll probably add the kill leader list once we're 2 weeks in. That's one thing I'll probably add next week. If there's anything else you can think of that you want me to add to these videos about the league, please let me know, and I'll be happy to do it. I enjoy making these. Hopefully you enjoy watching them. And yeah, I'll see y'all next week. Good luck to everyone in week 2. Have a good night. Bye.